for a really fantastic webinar. My name is Sandy Elson, and on behalf of the travel professional community and homebasedtravelagent.com, I welcome all of you. I'm really happy today that our host is Passport Online. Our speaker is Sarah Bauman, who is Passport Online's social media specialist. Sarah has been with Passport Online since the year 2000. She started out on the contents team and is currently the social media specialist. Sarah graduated from the Oregon Institute of Technology in 2009 with a Bachelor of Science in Information Technology and Application Development and a minor in marketing, which has helped her become Passport Online's expert in social media, as well as helping in the development of ESP. Sarah lives in Oregon with her Chorky, Lola, and a Chorky, I'm told, is a combination of a Chihuahua and a Yorkshire Terrier, which must really be adorable, Sarah, and loves trying all the new food carts Portland has to offer. Sarah's topic today is a question. Do you have a social media strategy for 2015? I think most of us are still searching for the most effective social media strategy, so this is certainly a timely and important webinar. As always, we really appreciate the support we get from Passport Online. Before we get started, please remember that you are all muted, but we welcome your questions. You can type in your questions at any time during this webinar in the question area you see on the right-hand side of your screen. At the end of Sarah's presentation, we'll get to as many questions as we can. So I'm going to turn the microphone over to Sarah so she can get started. Welcome, Sarah.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really excited to be talking about ESP with you. So let's get started. First, I'm just going to go through some background about Passport Online and who we are. A lot of you probably already know us, but for any of you that don't, I think that's important. So let's review. Who are we? Passport Online has been providing technology solutions to travel agencies for over 20 years, so we've been here for a while. We're passionate about travel and giving our customers the very best products possible. We work only with the travel industry, so what that means is that we know exactly what it takes to make a successful travel agency electronic presence. So we provide content from nearly 100 cruise lines, tour operators, packagers, and resorts. And we work with a number of consortia and host agencies, and here are just a few of them. So let's get into social media. It's huge, and you can't ignore it anymore. So what I wanted to talk about right now first is this graph of daily engagement by Facebook users. More than 70% of Facebook users are getting onto Facebook and engaging with posts that they find interesting at least once a day. More than 40% of them are doing it multiple times a day. So that tells you that your customers really are on Facebook, they're using it, they're commenting, they're sharing, they're liking, all of that. So you really want to be there and get involved in that. 93% of U.S. adult internet users are on Facebook, which is 152 million users. So chances are pretty good that a lot of your customers are on Facebook. 1 out of every 8 minutes online is spent on Facebook, and that number is growing. So this is just a graph that Travel Weekly put out about asking agents how they view participation in social media websites, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. And it was very interesting to me that such a large percentage of agents said that they're still learning how to use social media, and that it was such a small number that found that it was essential. And hopefully we can see the number of people that think it's essential continue to grow as we go on. So are you confused about social media? A lot of the things I hear from agents are, I'm not sure what to post. I'm not sure how often to post. I don't know what to post. So that's where ESP comes in. We created it in order to help you with those questions. It's a completely new solution. And like I said, we want to take away that confusion from social media to give you time to do what matters the most, which is engage with your clients. Talk to them, respond to them. If they ask a question on one of your posts, have the time to be able to answer that question. And we're doing the heavy lifting by selecting the content and getting it onto Facebook for you. And here's what ESP does. Creates the content, and it adds that content into your posting queue on Facebook. Posts are automatically made to Facebook on your behalf every day. Once you get your activation complete, You don't have to do anything, and you'll get posts sent to your page every day. We encourage you to obviously go into your posting queue and review what's in there and make sure that all those posts work for your agency. If you see a post that you're not interested in for one reason or another, maybe you only sell Caribbean, Mexico, tropical destinations, and there's a post in there about Alaska, you always have the opportunity to opt out of any of those posts that you don't want, and they won't be sent to your page. So we've been working with your colleagues in the travel agency community for the last 6 months, and there's nearly 1,000 of their Facebook pages that we're posting to. And we've learned a couple of things, and I wanted to share just a few of those with you all today. So the best days to post: Thursday, Wednesday, and Saturday, which was interesting to me. Saturday seemed to make sense, but I would have guessed probably Monday and Friday over Thursday and Wednesday, but there you have it. That's what we've seen. And the best times to post: Thursday at 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. seemed to work equally well. Wednesday around 9 a.m. and Saturday around 10 p.m. So I'm not sure if that matches with when your clients are most engaged on Facebook, but those might be some good times to try some posts at and see what sort of activity you get. So how does ESP benefit you? You don't need to spend time every day finding something to post. I know it can take an overwhelming amount of time if you're trying to find something interesting and create a good post around that, and you can end up spending a significant amount of time. So CSP, you don't have to do that. We do want you to still create your own posts when you have time and you have something interesting to say. Those posts would be things about happenings that are unique to your agency or that are going to be unique to just your customers rather than more general travel information. You also don't need to spend time finding images that are safe to use. I know that a lot of times people will think, oh, I can just go to Google and find some images and use those, but I want to caution you all to be really careful of that because a lot of those images are copyright, and you don't want to get a letter from somebody saying that you owe them money for using their image without their permission, because you may have meant it innocently enough and not realize that they didn't want you to do it, but that does happen, and it's very sad when it does. So your customers will see relevant, interesting content from you every day. So to your customers' perspective, you're spending all this time creating this great content, thinking about great places for them to travel to, but really you're not having to spend all that time. We're doing that for you. And as I said, it's a great supplement to your social media efforts. One of the great features is you can choose the maximum number of posts that you want through ESP per day to be sent to your page. So that way, maybe you only want 2 posts per day because you're going to create a third post. It's going to be some specific content for your agency. And you can absolutely do that. One thing to keep in mind is it's a maximum number of posts that will be sent to your page, not a guarantee of how many will be available. We do allow you to select up to a maximum of 10, but we're not generally scheduling that many posts per day yet. We're ramping up, so we're more in the 3 to 4 per day mark right now. So what type of content is it that you should still be creating on your own? As I said, content that's relevant to just your agency. And then here's some examples that I came up with. Some local events. Maybe you're going to be at a local event or show, something like that. You want to let your customers know. That's something you'll want to create on your own. Anything promoting maybe group space that your agency has, or some unique trip itineraries that you've put together, anything like that. Some information about your agency in particular. Maybe you're having, the 10th anniversary of your agency, or your agency's having a sandals night or a Caribbean night or something like that. You'll want to put that together. Any kind of your own travel tips or recommendations. If you just got back from maybe a fam trip and you had dinner at a fantastic restaurant in Paris, that would be something you might want to put a post together about. Maybe you have a fun photo to go along with it. Also, photos from your recent trips. Your customers want to see you out having fun if you're out somewhere. And maybe information about where you or your agents have traveled. Some reviews from you or your agents on hotels or cruise ships, escorted tours, anything like that, or testimonials from your specific clients. Also, region-specific information and events. I know some of you have been having some pretty bad weather recently, so maybe in that case you want to create some type of post advising your clients that might be traveling soon, how that will affect them, what kind of delays you're seeing happening, your local airport, things like that. Maybe there's some construction going on around the airport that's local to you. You could create a post talking about alternate routes to get to the airport, ways to save time. Maybe there's an alternative. I know here we have a great train system that we can use to get to the airport. So if we were having that, I would probably encourage someone local to me to make a post suggesting that they take that instead of maybe driving. So these are just some good ideas. I'm sure you could think of some other great ones too. Also, maybe along the same lines as the construction at the airport, maybe there's a new restaurant that opened and you might want to just let people know, hey, this restaurant is actually really good. You might want to plan on a little extra time before your upcoming trip to stop and check it out. So I know people have asked about privacy and security when using ESP. So we're concerned about it. We're concerned about your clients' privacy and security and your privacy and security. So what you end up doing with the ESP product is you allow it access to post to your Facebook page on your behalf. You don't have to give your Facebook username and password to anyone, and there's no downloading of client lists or any kind of contact information. We want to make sure that you keep all that information with you because they're your clients. We just want to get that content out to them. So this is probably the most exciting part. You guys want to know what type of content ESP will put together. So here are an example of the different categories of content. We do questions, travel tips, travel quotes, destination information from all over the world, exotic destinations, once-in-a-lifetime type trips to close to home. Did you know information might talk about a monument, something like that, maybe a city. Seasonal or national day, they're obviously going to be somewhat related to travel. Also, information about the other aspects of travel. There's more to travel than just going to a destination and being there. There's food, there's wine tasting, there's sightseeing opportunities, there's festivals, there's all kinds of cool things to see. So we also create posts around that. Fun posts related to travel. These could be things like, all I need is the beach and a picture of a great beach, things like that. We'll show some examples in a minute here. And selected travel promotions. Those will only be for your preferred suppliers, and any kind of call to action will go back to your agency. There won't be a case where we'll put a promotion on there that would have the client get in touch with the supplier directly or anything like that. Everything would go back to a page where if they fill out an information request, that request would go back to you. So we've also started scheduling some recurring topics due to their popularity with the agents participating in ESP. So some of these are Wish You Were Here Friday. So every Friday we'll have a post called Wish You Were Here, and it'll be a different destination. And again, those also range from exotic to close to home. Where in the World Wednesday, where we'll show a photo and most of it will be obscured, and we'll have a little fact about that place and ask if people can identify it. And then later we'll have a post scheduled that shows the answer with the full photo. World Cuisine Wednesday, where we talk about cuisine available in different parts of the world. Travel Quote Tuesday and Travel Tip Thursday. And more of those are coming. So now let's get to the most exciting part and look at some of these posts. So here are some examples of question posts. So which beach is your favorite for a stroll? Nice picture to go along with it with a caption on it. Which would you rather visit next, Alaska or Aruba? If price was not an object, which of these countries would you rather visit? And here's what I was talking about the where in the world. Where in the world can you name this monument? This particular one was talking about Greece. So let's look at some travel quotes. So here we have these ones, and they're always with a nice photo to go along with it. And generally within your posting queue, we'll identify the destination that's in the photo because sometimes it's not always obvious. And there's been a lot of agents who've had clients asking and saying, where is that? I want to go. And which is always great when someone says, I want to go where that picture was taken. And we try to vary up what we're showing. You know, sometimes it might be a nice sunset scenery picture. Other times it might be animals in a place, and try to make it somewhat related to the quote. And let's look at some destination focus posts. And these are always a little different. Some of them are longer pieces of copy and some of them are shorter. Try to make it interesting here. Beach of the Cathedrals. This one we're talking about the Grand Bazaar in Istanbul. Surfing in Bali. Key Beach in Hawaii. Another beach in Indonesia. Aurora Borealis in Iceland. So like I said, we try to vary these that way. Your clients have a chance to see a lot of different options and all kinds of different things that they could see and do. This one I thought was great, that Our Colorful World, there's been a long theme of these where there's been just different very colorful places you can go and see. Then some seasonal or national day posts. This one was for World Wetlands Day, and we just showed 4 different options. And here are some examples of what I was talking about as far as fun posts go. Is this the only type of traffic jam you want to encounter on vacation? This is one of my favorite ones because I look at that and think, yeah, that's pretty much the only traffic I want to see when I'm on vacation. And here's another one. The only thing missing is you, showing a great beach. Do look forward to a nap under the palms on vacation. Always good to make new friends. Is this your idea of me time? These are ones that are more designed to get people to share them with their friends too, because these are the types of things that people like to share and say, yeah, this is what I want to be doing on my vacation. And here's some examples of more of the snowy vacations. We've done some of these too. Not everybody wants to go on a tropical vacation. Some people want to go somewhere and go skiing or be out in the snow. And here's some examples of the travel tips posts. And these will vary. They'll be about specific destinations, traveling in general, everything. This is another series we started called Pack, Bring Back. Pack a colorful sarong, get a colorful blanket to bring back. I'm going to Cancun. I think those are great, bright colors. That's pretty eye-catching. Here's another one, avoiding excess baggage. And then let's look at the promotional or what we call supplier branding posts. So this is an example of something we would refer to as a supplier branding post. It's talking about Avalon Waterways, but there's no promotion attached to it. It's just informational, letting people know, hey, here's an option that you might want to consider, and letting them know about different types of travel. This one was actually a promotion, and you can see it has the Globus graphic, but this was sent out, and I took the screen cap from Travel of Orange, so you can see that this is actually going to that promotion on their site. So again, everything's going to go back to you, not to the supplier. This one's kind of a quote from CIE Tours, just talking about Ireland and Britain. So nice picture, looks good. This one was really popular, beach or pool, Sheraton Kauai Resort. I would have a really hard time choosing which one I wanted to spend my time by. I probably would want to have a lounge chair maybe in the grassy area in between both so you can enjoy everything. But got a lot of comments on this. One from Brendan Vacations. So I mentioned posts about the other elements of travel, so let's look at those. Here's one of the World Cuisine Wednesday posts, talking about these being popular throughout the Philippines and Indonesia. So again, related to travel, but not always 100% directly focusing on a destination or suggesting where people should go. Skiing in the French Alps. Like we said, some of these are going to be activities you can do, things like that. People might not think about that, like, oh, I guess I could do that. Maybe I want to, plan a ski trip somewhere else and not just go to the local ski area. Looking for something else to do in Venice. Go to Murano for a glass blowing demonstration. I think that would be really fun and interesting to see. Whale watching in Hawaii. The Elephant Festival in India. So you can get an idea of the variety of these types of posts and how we're trying to really get people to think about other things to do. We'll move on to some frequently asked questions we get about the ESP product. So the first is, do I need a business page on Facebook to use ESP? The answer is yes. And business pages are free to set up on Facebook. Facebook isn't going to charge you to create one. They also require that all businesses use a business page and not use a profile page for their business. I want to warn you guys that they are cracking down more and more on that, and so be really careful and make sure that you do get set up with the business page. You can still keep your profile page, but use it as yourself, not as your business. Obviously, you're going to be talking to people about travel, but don't use a profile page as your business page because you don't want them to delete your account if they catch you. So will posts for non-preferred suppliers be sent to my Facebook page? No. Only posts for your preferred suppliers are sent to your posting queue. Non-preferred supplier posts are never even shown to you. So you don't even have to worry about them going out. Is there a minimum commitment for ESP? No, we didn't make a minimum commitment because we want you to keep ESP because you love it and it's working for you, not because we're requiring you to stick with it. So we also heard, why do you use so many different types of posts? And the reason is because each of those posts types will get a different reaction from your fans. Some types of posts people are more likely to comment on than others. Some of them they're more likely to just like than others. And some of them they're more likely to share with others. And when Facebook sees that people are taking all kinds of different actions on your post, then they're more likely to feel like that's a valid post and encouraging interaction and engagement. So they're going to continue to show more of your fans your posts. So this is a recent one. We've been hearing from people, my posts aren't reaching as many people as before. So in January, Facebook changed their algorithm that determines what content shows in everyone's newsfeed. And so due to that, some people's post reach has dropped. So I wanted to give you guys an idea of what you can do in order to increase that reach of your posts, both the ESP posts and your own. So here's an idea of take short videos when you travel and post them to your page. People always love seeing a video that they've never seen before. So my example here was, remember that bird that landed on your drink in Jamaica? Next time don't shoot it off. Just pull out your phone and shoot a quick little video of it and post it on your page. And I just said Mondays are a great time to share these types of videos, probably because people are, just getting back engaged with work, and so having a cute short video to make them smile is a good thing Monday morning. Add some of your own text-only posts. Varying the types of content that you have on Facebook will definitely help to increase your views. So if you get a lot of the photo posts we do through ESP, then you probably want to add some of your own custom text-only posts. Maybe just ask a question or send them a fact, something like that. They don't have to be long and complicated. One of the things that we've seen a lot of agents have good success with is boosting their posts, and that's where you pay Facebook a few dollars per day to boost those. So my suggestion would be to set a really small budget over a few days and see how that impacts it. We have a ESP Facebook user group, and there's been a lot of discussions in there from agents who are doing post boosting, and they're usually really happy to share information as far as what success they've seen and things like that. So I encourage you guys to, go on and join the group and read through the posts and see what they're saying, because that's all what they've been doing to increase it. And as a bonus, you might get some additional fans from boosting your posts. That's always a good thing. So another option is to share a few of the most interesting posts through the week to your personal page. Probably a lot of your customers are friends with you on Facebook as well as being a fan of your page. So that might reach some more people that maybe didn't see the original post. One of the things I want to caution you on is don't overdo it, though. You don't want to share every post that comes across on your business page back to your personal page. Less is more. And if you're not sure how often to share one to your personal page, I'd suggest starting out with 1 out of 10. So every 10th post you make on Facebook can be one that you're sharing from your business page. And vary what you're sharing. Don't always share videos or only photos or only text posts. Share different ones. See what works, because your agency, you may find that your fans always respond to the videos that you reshare, but maybe don't respond so well to text-only posts, or maybe vice versa. So let's talk about pricing. So for ESP, your first profile is $15 per month. And what we mean by profile is one posting queue going to one Facebook page. Maybe you have two Facebook pages. You have one for your general agency, and you have another for perhaps your river cruise specialty side of your agency. So those would each be separate profiles. Your first one is $15 per month, and the second one would just be $1 per month each. So if you had two pages and you wanted to post to both, then that would be $16 per month. Now, if you have our Nextsite 2 product, your first ESP profile is actually included with your Nextsite subscription. So I wanted to thank everyone for joining me, and if you have any questions, please get in touch with me. I have the phone number and email address on our website on here, and I would love to hear some questions from you.
Thank you, Sarah. That was fantastic. Some really excellent suggestions for our web strategy. We do have several questions. Several Canadian agents would like to know if this product is available in Canada, or if you have a Canadian product.
Absolutely. You can definitely sign up and use this, whether you're in Canada or the US or anywhere else. One thing to keep in mind is all of the content is going to be in English at this time. So if you're in an area that requires things being in both English and French, you may have to do a little work to have supplemental posts also in French or something like that. So just keep that in mind, that absolutely you can use it, but we only have content in English right now.
Can you elaborate a little bit about the difference between a personal Facebook account and a business Facebook account? Are they set up the same way, but one is, business and one is personal, or what's the difference in the way those get set up?
Sure. So in order to have even a business page, you have to first have a personal account with Facebook. So what you would do is you would set up your personal account that probably most of you already have, and then there's an area within Facebook where you go to, and I believe if you just type in a little search bar at the top of Facebook, create a page, it'll take you to the right spot to do it. But you click on that and it'll say, do you want to create a page for a business or a nonprofit? There's also a third option, I can't remember what it is, but if you just choose that you want to create a page for a business, it'll walk you through a little wizard where you put in that information. Some of the other benefits about creating a business page are that you can tie your website to it. There's a specific spot where they ask you for your URL. They also ask you for your physical address and your phone number, so they make it easy for people who are looking at maybe your page on their mobile phone to call you or to get a map to your location if you have a brick and mortar. So that kind of stuff is really nice, and you don't get those features if you're trying to use Facebook as a personal page.
Okay, and several agents have asked if they have the ability to choose which posts that you create are posted on their sites. For example, if they focus on one destination or one type of lifestyle, or just not a general all things to all people.
So what you'll do is you actually would want to just log into your queue of posts every couple days. We'll give you a minimum of 3 days to preview all of the posts before they go out. So you just want to log in every 2 or 3 days and look at the posts and just opt out of any that you don't want. We are planning on, in the future, having some more flexible options for those of you that are more specialized to be able to set things up so that posts that aren't going to be of interest to your specialty just don't even show up in your queue, but we're not there yet. So for right now, you absolutely can. You just have to spend 2 to 3 minutes every couple days to log in and take a look at the posts.
And what about preferred suppliers? If an agent belongs to a host or consortium that has preferred suppliers, do you also have different preferreds represented, or do you mostly not?
We do. Yeah.
The posts and pictures that you post on Facebook, are those pictures and posts available for agents to put onto their agency blogs?
So the Posts are not available to be used on a blog or a website due to how the license is for that, but you can use them on other social media sources. So if you're also on Pinterest or Twitter or Instagram or something like that, you can absolutely use any of those posts on other social media sites. They're not limited to just usage on Facebook, but you can't use them for content on a website. I know it seems a little strange, but that's the way our license agreement works with them. So.
Okay, so you don't specifically post to other social media sites like Twitter, but agents who sign up can move the posts onto other social sites.
Correct, yeah, and there's a really good integration within Facebook to have Facebook posts go right to your Twitter profile, and so you can set that up. We're also going to be having some more options for additional social media networks to post to, but that's coming soon. So.
Okay, great. In addition to the posts which drum up interest for an agent's Facebook page, do you also offer other suggestions for new agents or new Facebook users in making their Facebook page more visible or to increase likes or followers?
The probably best resource for that is actually our ESP group. There's a lot of agents that are in there who've been doing social media for a while, and they're usually really willing to answer questions or provide advice. And there's a lot of archived messages in there where agents have come in before and asked for suggestions. So you can go in there and you can kind of read through what other agents have said. But yeah, in general, we'll give you some suggestions on what we would suggest that you try, but always talking to your peers when possible is great because then you can get their exact advice.
Excellent. One of our agents wants to know how to sign up.
That's great. You can go to passportonlineinc.com, and then in the top drop-down menu, there's actually an option that says ESP, and then on that page, there's a link that says click here to sign up, and then that'll send an email and have all the information I need, and I'll get you over a contract, and we'll get you set up usually the same day we get the contract back.
Fantastic. Are there any statistics as to how much business these posts generate for an agency?
It's always hard to measure in terms of sales because we don't necessarily know when a sale is made or what it's attributed to. We have some anecdotal responses from our agents that are telling us, hey, this post got me, this great number of sales or this really high amount of a sale, things like that, but we don't have any way to kind of tell what was booked and attribute it to a post just because we're not involved in that booking process.
Okay. Just a general question. Our agent wants to know if you think it's necessary to hashtag a lot on Facebook posts.
So hashtags is really a matter of personal preference. I would say that it's probably a good thing for you to do. We do not put hashtags in any of the ESP posts, and there's actually a really good reason why. So probably 2 to 3 months after we launched this, we heard a lot of agents requesting that we add hashtags to the posts. And I kind of thought about it for a while, and we couldn't really come up with any reason why not to. So we did a trial, and we added hashtags to one of the posts. And what ended up happening was the agents realized that if we add hashtags to it for them, then when someone clicks on that hashtag, they're going to see every other agency that post went to. So that was not exactly the result any of us wanted, but we learned that we can't generally add hashtags for everyone. So I think that's, yes, you should, but they should be custom to you. So you should pick when to add them and which hashtags to add to what post. But I think there's some value in it, and I think you'll see more value in hashtags with Facebook as time goes on. I think still they're in kind of the walking stages of really using them well.
One of our agents wants to know if you can choose fewer than one post per day, like one every other day.
Not at this time, and the reason is because we feel that it's really important for you to have a larger volume of posts going to Facebook. I know that for a while people were suggesting that you only post once per week, things like that, but as Facebook has made changes to its algorithm, we've actually found, and a lot of people within social media have been talking about how it's more valuable to have posts go out more frequently because it's giving you a greater likelihood of something from you showing up in someone's news feed. So you could choose to only have a post go out every other day, but you'd again need to log in and manage your queue and just opt out of all the posts on a given day if you didn't want anything to go out.
Okay. And you said the posts currently are just available in English, so
Correct.
agents in other countries would be posting these in English.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. And one of our agents wants to know if Passport Online gets involved in search engine optimization at all.
We don't. We have some general information on our website program help site that will talk to you about things you can do to your site in order to make it more search engine friendly and some kind of basic SEO tips, but we don't get involved in just search engine optimization. There's a lot of other companies who can do that, and they have a lot more experience than us doing that, so we've kind of stayed out of that and stuck with what we're good at.
Okay, understood. A couple of questions about pricing. Can you go back and go over the pricing again?
Sure. There we go. And it is $15 per month for your first profile, and additional profiles are $1 per month each. And as I said, if you're signed up with our Next Site program, then your first profile is included.
Okay, excellent. Another general question, how important is the number of likes a Facebook site gets? Does that help generate business?
Well, obviously, the more likes you have, the more people you're going to have potentially seeing your posts, and the more greater likelihood you're going to get engagement is. But I don't think there's any magic number that says you shouldn't be involved in social media until you have X number of fans. I think you can start really at any point and see that number increase.
We have another couple of general questions. If you pay to boost a post on your business page, is there an easy way to track whether that has any impact on who sees it, how many see it?
So when you boost a page on Facebook, you'll actually be able to go into your Facebook Insights area. And if you're not familiar with that, I would encourage you guys to check that out after the call. You'll see a link to it at the very top of your Facebook fan page. So within there, you'll actually be able to see how many views you got from boosting it versus how many you got without. And they refer to them as paid, which are all the views attributed to you paying to boost that post, and the other views are called organic views. So you'll actually will be able to see, okay, only 100 people saw my post on their own, but then once I paid Facebook a little bit of money, I got 600 other people that saw it from that. So then you can actually tell what it cost you per view or per new like and all of that.
Okay. Good suggestion. One of our agents is confused. Do they need to add you as an administrator to their account?
They do not, actually. So we don't even have access to your page in that respect. So there's just an authentication process through our application and the Facebook application. If you guys have ever played any kind of games on Facebook or on your smartphone that connect through Facebook, and you go through that process that we probably all ignore and just say next, 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 it's the same process for ESP. You're just allowing it to have access to post as you.
Sarah, is there a way to sort of automatically transfer the friends from someone's personal account to their business page?
I wish there was, because it would make things so much easier. Unfortunately, there's not. What I would do in that situation, I've had a couple other agents who've asked about that, is I would plan on it being kind of a few-month process where you just keep reminding people, hey, this is my personal account. I set up my business account. Go here and like me. Here's how you get to it, and including the link, and just kind of do that maybe at first a couple times a week, and then as time goes on, maybe just do a once a week reminder like, hey, after this date, I'm not going to post this information on this account anymore. I'm going to post it all over here. And that's a situation where I might actually share more of my page's posts to my personal account during that transition period, because then they would be more likely to start following that. So
Yeah, yeah. You said that the pictures that you post are not copyright, so agents can't get in trouble for posting them. And you've also said that the agents are free to post these pictures and posts on other social media. Does that go for their personal page as well? Can they switch these, post these pictures and comments on their personal page as well as their business page?
they absolutely can. So it's not that the images don't have a copyright. They do have a copyright. We're just paying the licensing fee to use them, which is why we only are licensed to use them on social media, because we have a social media license only. But yeah, it doesn't make any difference from that perspective, personal page versus business. You can reshare them to your personal page, Instagram, Twitter, any of that. As long as it's social media, you're completely fine.
Okay. And let's see, looking at ESP, what does that stand for, if anything?
Funnily enough, most of our products are all acronyms, and they actually stand for something. In this case, it doesn't stand for anything. We're thinking about it more from the sense of we have ESP in order to know what to post for you.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. One of our agents wants to know how many other agencies get the same. How many agencies do you post for? How many business pages may be displaying the same information?
So there are 1,000 different pages that have access to our content. And keep in mind, with supplier preferencing and how many posts per day, not everybody's going to have necessarily exactly the same post going out every day. They might not. So that's why, again, I encourage you to mix in your own posts. One of the things I also want to point out is that even outside of ESP, a lot of agencies that are active in social media, you will see that they do have some amount of the same content through sharing things from suppliers. I know like Carnival has a series of videos that they put out, so a lot of agencies will have those videos on their site. So
Okay, great. When you sign up, you say it's $15 per month. Is this a month-to-month arrangement, or are the agents signing a year-long contract? Can they stop using your posts if they want to?
So they're not signing any kind of contract. It is month per month, but if they know that they want to pay for the full year, they can pay for a year at a time if they want to. Maybe it makes it easier on them rather than just doing the monthly fee. But there's no minimum commitment. Like I said, we want you to stay with it because you love it and you find that it's successful.
In general, how many posts do you think an agency should post per day?
I would go towards 3 to 4 at a minimum.
Okay. Do the messages that you post have a call to action for people reading?
Some of them do. Yeah, some of them do, some of them don't. It really depends on the specific message. We have some of them where there's a real specific call to action that will actually include the agency's name in there. So one of the parts of getting activated is you fill out kind of like a mini profile. Don't let that confuse or scare you. It's 3 questions. It just asks for your agency name, how you want it displayed, your phone number that you want displayed to clients, and I believe an email address that you want displayed to clients. And that's because some of those we will include a little mini call to action saying, could you see yourself on this beach? And then your agency name can help get you there, or something like that. Or, if you're interested, call us at da-da-da. And that, again, like I said, just depends on the nature of the post. So some of them will have a call to action, some of them won't.
Several agents are asking, what is NextSite?
So NextSite, I'm glad you asked. That is our travel agency website program. So it is $55 per month, and it includes ESP in your first profile. It gives you all of the tools to create your website, hosting for that website, email accounts, and content for your website. So it's basically everything you need for your website in one component, basically. And if you're interested in looking at some examples of that, you can go to our website. I'm going to skip to the next slide here so you can see that again. PassportOnlineInc.com, and you can click on Next Site, and you can take a look at information about it and see some examples. If you have further questions or want even more information than that, you can also click on the Contact Us on our website and send an email in, and we'll get you some information.
Okay, excellent. Is Passport Online itself mentioned in these posts?
We're not. We don't want your customers to know anything about us. We want them to call you. We don't want them to call us. We don't sell travel. We want you to sell travel. So as far as your customers know, we are completely invisible.
Do any of the consortia or host agencies include ESP for their member agents?
Some of them do. So when you get in touch with us, we will probably ask you, unless you've already told us, who you're affiliated with, and then we'll let you know if they have a special program with us or not.
Okay, and just looking through the questions. Does Facebook charge for setting up a business page if you're not going to boost anything?
They do not. The only thing Facebook charges you for currently, I don't know if they have any plans to change it, but as of today, the only thing they charge you for is if you want to boost your posts. So you could get on there and get started for no money.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yes, we always like things that are free.
Free is good. Do you have any statistics about views of posts on Sundays? If they're effective, how they compare to the most popular days to post?
That's a really good question. Let me see here. I can't pull up my. Oops. I can't pull up anything because I'm in the webinar, but Sunday is one of the lower days, but what I've found is there are certain times on Sunday that are fairly effective and get pretty close to the same views that you get during the rest of the week. And I want to say like early in the morning, like 5 to 6 a.m. was a good time, and then again like 11 a.m. and then towards the evening, like not late, but kind of after dinner, 7 p.m.-ish area, and those all seem to be the best kind of times on Sunday. I think maybe people are just waking up a little earlier on Sunday, and so waiting for the kids to get ready, things like that, and looking at Facebook, and so that's probably why you're seeing those sort of strange time points.
Mm-hmm. Do any of the posts include any kind of pricing, or is it just basically to attract people to your page or to give information?
Occasionally, some of the promotional posts will include pricing, but it really depends on the nature of it. But it's usually more along the lines of something like save up to so many dollars or something, and then it will take them to the landing page that all the leads go back to the agency, where it'll explain more in detail. Maybe it'll be like, okay, save $2,000 on these 5 trips, or $1,700 on these 2, or something like that.
Okay. What's your take on how long Facebook will be as popular as it is now? You have a crystal ball you can consult?
I wish I did. One of the things I think is Facebook is so big that I think we would get some pretty clear indications long before it stopped being the main social media channel. I think there's probably going to be some amount of other social media channels that will start to become more popular as time goes on, but I don't see Facebook losing its popularity anytime soon. I mean, I know there's LinkedIn and Google Plus that are getting a little more popular, but they just don't seem to have as many passionate, active users as Facebook has.
I think that is about all the time we have for questions. So I want to thank you very much, Sarah Bauman, social media specialist from Passport Online. We really learned a lot. I know I learned a lot today, and I know everybody else has learned a lot also. So thank you so much, Sarah.
Well, thank you, everyone, and have a great afternoon, and get in touch with us if you have any questions.
Great, and thank you to everyone on this call. I really appreciate that you've been here.